Hey there YouTube, I'm Yukitsu, this is the Yukitsu Times, welcome to my channel, welcome to more Company of Heroes 2. So yeah, I've been playing this and I've gotten sort of better and worse at it, I think. There are certain games where I just feel like I'm getting absolutely destroyed, but I think that part of it isn't necessarily... I like playing 3v3 because I think it fills out the map a little bit better and it feels more like a really important battle. Whereas the 1v1s, like, the unit cap is so low and the unit production is so slow in this game that it doesn't really feel like a big World War II battle. It feels like a minor skirmish around, like, some sort of tiny village that no one really cares about, but I think that to a certain degree sometimes I'm getting demolished because my allies are not necessarily doing the things that they need to do because, like, sometimes I'll have allies that just will not for the life of them move forward, and that happens in this game, which, I mean, thankfully they dig in effectively. They choose good units to dig in with, but I get the feeling like sometimes it's not my fault that I'm doing really poorly in these threes, but you know, I probably should try some 1v1s just to sort of figure out how I stand in those. Now, I've managed to capture a couple of points here. I'm just building nothing but conscripts at this start here. And once I've gotten my engineers over here, since they're a little bit closer and have started capturing this point, once these conscripts get up there to start taking their place and start capping it instead of them, I'm actually going to retreat them back to home base. The reason for that is going to be that I think that these troops need to start building, need to get to work, and then this big wave of conscripts that I've been slowly building is going to be able to sort of do what they need to do. So as you can see, I've hit retreat because it means that they'll get home faster. But, I mean, we've captured this point here. We've got our allies capturing this fuel point. I've got another ally sort of working over here. Now, this, I don't really like the fact that it's going for this point. This point advantages the Germans way too much because, like, they're a lot closer. They're, like, one screen away. If you look sort of at the little tiny box here, I don't know if you can see it, but they're only about one screen away. However, we're like 2 full screens away from it on this side, and come to think that they're closer to that one than we are to this one, which is supposed to be our advantage point. But I mean, the central point would have been a better idea, and it's what we end up contesting. So, in any event, we get into a bit of a firefight here. I've got my units in cover; he hasn't, so this is going to be to my advantage. Banging away 2 rifle squads. My unit did get quite weakened, so I did lose a troop, but we do push him back quite effectively here. And these pioneers over here, they're not going to be able to do jack. He does decide to sort of bypass my troops since they're in cover, though, and start heading towards here. I'm going to move my troops towards these boxes. I probably should have just moved them into this building, but we managed to get them there. I hopped the fence with these guys eventually once I realized what's going on here. I kind of had an idea, but I figured that maybe he'd be sending in more troops, and I'd have to intercept them. In any event, though, instead we've got these Grenadiers going down pretty quickly. I'm going down pretty quickly. It's just a very bloody close-range fight here, but... So he's forced to retreat these guys. We're going to manage to actually wipe the unit, which is really good. I've got my troops over here. They start turning around. They start firing at this guy, this poor bastard. And we're going to start moving towards over here. Unfortunately, I get pinned by the German machine gun, which opens fire just in time to stop my troops from reinforcing in time. So we're going to end up having to retreat away from these troops, and the American player just does not seem to give a shit. Like, this long fight has been happening, and he could have been doing something a long time ago, but he doesn't, so, I mean, well, whatever. But all he really has here is rear echelon troops that are not actually building anything, so, like, not a whole lot of firepower to be added to the situation. So, in any event, I'm forced to retreat these guys back because he gets his machine gun put into position, and my units are getting whittled down really badly, so I do fall back over there. And I'm not really spending money on troops. I've actually started putting a fuel cache on this point. We are going to start losing this point. I don't really know what this American player did with this. Like, this is a bad point to defend, in my opinion, because, like, there's nothing really that crucial here. There's the fuel, but, I mean, I'd rather he be protecting this point, and later on I would rather he protect, like, up here, because we can actually take that. Anyway, I've got my sort of engineers running around doing whatever it is they're doing. I mean, the game is going to be a long one, so I'm going to actually put this at time 2 speed, but you can hear from time to time I've got German radio chatter. And the reason that I've got German radio chatter is that I've got this passive radio interceptor is going to help me figure out what's going on just a little bit. Now, the Americans have finally started moving out with a couple troops here. They've got some riflemen over here. One of the things I don't really understand is why the American riflemen seem to have about the same rate of fire as their German counterparts. I mean, they are supposed to have significantly faster rate of fire because they're using the M1 Garand, which is a semi-automatic rifle, as opposed to the Germans who are using Germans and Russians who are using manual rifles. So yeah, that was a pretty good grenade there. He's using those grenades quite well. The frags are also very strong, so that's another plus for the Americans. We've managed to take over this point with fuel again, and we control this point pretty successfully. I've got this unit behind good cover here. They'll be able to open fire. I don't know why I moved them out of cover, but we just sort of can swarm them with Russian infantry here. At this point in time, they've got their scout car over here. I was hoping they'd send it around to the other side. I did hear about it on the radio dispatch, but they do end up sending it over here, which is really bad. We have nothing that really can deal with it. It's quite a brutal weapon. Fortunately, we are going to get a very lucky mortar hit on it, which is going to make it quite vulnerable, and it's actually going to go down to small arms fire pretty soon. So, yeah, that was really just over in an instant, but it was basically just oh yeah, the utility car also has like an M9 bazooka anti-tank gun, so that probably helped finish off, but the combination of the two just sort of really did the work there. So at this point in time, we've got really good control over this sector. We're fighting way too hard for this sector. Like, we should not be there. We should be taking this one. Because we can't control this. Their reinforcement times are too fast over here, and there's too many buildings that they control. You can see all this infantry here that have already been promoted to level 3 by the elite troop doctrine, which is kind of a bullshit doctrine anyway, but I think eventually that our ally figures it out and starts taking over the middle point, but I'm trying to push over here. My priority is to stop the Germans from getting a big armor ball. That's sort of what I'm more worried about. So this unit gets completely freaking owned by a grenade, and I'm forced to retreat back like immediately, but we do capture the point. Yeah, unfortunately we'll be able to retake it right away, so that was quite bad. Got some flamethrowers over here, but there's not a whole lot that we've got going on here. I did get this T-34 though very, very quickly, which, you know, I just skipped straight to the T-34 instead of getting the T-70 because we've got all these fuel points that I've been building all game. So it's really increased and enhanced our fuel production. Like, it doubles the fuel that we get from these points, so like we're getting a lot of gas, and that's going to help out quite a bit. I'm going to even have a lucky time here because this Pack 40 is going to get moved, and that's going to give my guys a chance to run in, cause some damage here. And this is going to be a really interesting game just because of all of the tank bullshit that's going to happen in it. Once again here, just I roll up just as this Pack 40 was moving, and you know, like, it turns around and fires at my T-34, but like I've already caused quite a lot of damage to this infantry, and he's forced to retreat with a machine gun. He's taking a lot of infantry casualties here, and like he's forced to retreat them back as well, which is, you know, really good. So, you know, he's gonna put his Pack 40 back up, and he's probably thinking like, holy shit, that was a T-34 already. But anyway, it's going to get repaired pretty easily. We'll eventually get the ability to passively repair our tanks just with the tank crews, but that's going to be a little while in the running. In the meantime, we need to start accumulating gas again. We've got like all these points with gas built on it. I should actually have gone in and built it on these two as well, just because like my American allies weren't building them. So, but like, yeah, T-34 already on the road, just coming in there again. This is just hilarious. So, like, with all these T-34s that I've got, it's going to be very hard. They've got a Stugout. A Stugout is like an anti-infantry vehicle primarily. It has got a tank gun, anti-tank gun to a certain degree. It can hit tanks, but like, it does not compete against a T-34 at this point in the game. Para's pinned down here, which is really sort of bad for them, but like, they've also got this truck here, so it's going to be able to sort of work on these machine gun crews. Either way, though, we've got like this attack counterattack. I'm gonna completely fuck up this defense here. I should have retreated my troops and my tanks all back. This tank, for some reason, decides to show its side armor and like gets completely freaking owned. This Panzer IV, though, we are gonna be able to take it out. So Our engineers, I think we lose at least one a group. I think we lose two, in fact, but I'm not positive. Oh no, they both get alive. Okay, lovely. But in any event, like both these, yeah, just completely destroyed. These mortar crews as well, I have to retreat them as well, so... I've got some conscripts. They do push up a little bit, but... Yeah, I should have just moved back with my mortar crews, but it doesn't really matter since our opponent is forced to retreat back with all his troops here. So, whatever. So, did lose two T-34s. I have another T-34 already, so, I mean, like, it's fine. He did lose the expensive Panzer IV. So, at this point in time, though, like, our allies, my allies are sort of assuming these very defensive stances here. Like, we've got this M1 57 over here, they've got their lieutenants and they've got some infantry over here, and they're just trying to hold out as best they can. But I think to a certain degree they should have pushed forward. We should have tried to defend like up here or something, near this road or something like that. But we're pushed so far back that we can't really exert as much pressure as I want on them. And like we could have kept these resource points more contested, just because we've pushed them back so hard in this area. I've started moving some of my troops up here just because I have no idea actually why I had troops over here. Honestly, there's no good reason for it. Yeah, this Pack 40 basically two-shot my tank, which was kind of bullshit. In any event, though, I'm forced to retreat back these troops because I encountered troops on this ice here, which I didn't think I was going to, but I'm also going to have to retreat this one back. Like, the Americans are so pushed back. Like, he can't even see this point here is the problem. He needs to be able to actually shoot at this point, so, like, we don't have to constantly capture, recapture it. Any event, T-34, once again, moves up here. I figure it's a little bit friendlier up here. They have got the Stug here. Stug, not really the best choice to take out a T-34 unless it's on the ice where it just sinks it automatically. Really bad, but in any event. And then over here we've got the Americans sort of in a pretty decent position to sort of really fire back here. These lieutenants with the I'm not sure what kind of gun that is, but I think it's a Browning automatic rifle. Really effective against these guys. And we're bombarding these troops with some artillery pretty well. They're going to retreat back pretty effectively though. At this point in time, I've got no armor left on the field. I think, working on another T-34. No, I'm not. Actually, at this point in time, I'm waiting for my IS2, sorry. And that's going to sort of become the sort of backbone, I guess, of my tanks. We're clumped up pretty badly here, and I'm going to forget to correct that later on. But basically, we need to stick by the fires here during this point in time, so that is why our troops are so clustered up. And here we see this damaged Panzer IV back up front. They're going to have a lot of tanks starting to roll in through this area. You can see them starting to mass them up. They've got another Panzer IV over there. It's just getting kind of brutal. I get my IS-2 out though. It's going to start moving up to, I think I send it first to the center, and then I send it over to the side where I am. But, like, again, the Americans need to be defending at this point here. It's just not really relevant to defend where they're defending from. In any event, the Germans got a couple of tanks over here, a Panzer and a Stug. It's going to basically make it really hard for us to push. They don't use their armor though effectively in this push. It was disorganized, so all of those infantry get sort of wiped out by the American infantry. Americans have really good anti-infantry infantry. I think it's sort of what they specialize in. But in any event, this big attack, like we've also got quite a lot of our own infantry here, and like we've got mortars raining down on them. Like we're not hitting them with light weapons here, but they don't take any casualties really. Like they're not taking anything from this. This is kind of bullshit. But in any event, I move my IS-2 up to the front here, start attacking this Stug. But I decided to back off just a little bit because it gets a little bit dangerous here, and I'm not getting any support from that American player, so you know, there's no point in hanging around there if I'm not going to get any support from the American players. But at this point in time, like, I figure, okay, this guy just, I don't know what he's doing. Like, he sends one troop in, they sort of capture it, but Over here, similarly, they pass through our defenses pretty easily to stack defenses. Not great against Panzer IVs. He goes in, he destroys the Jackson, and just gets back out, no problem. So, I do send the IS2 up here, and I send the ZIS up here. And I'm going to send another T-34 over there. And that's going to sort of very well replace the sort of stuff that I sent over there. Now, the IS-2, not a great tank by any stretch of the imagination. And it's going to really show later on in the game, because it's like what I have access to as far as heavy tanks go, so it's what I build. I think that should be fairly self-evident, but, you know, I've got my self-repair doctrine, so it's repairing itself pretty well. I've got a T-34 around here. It'll zip around to a better position in a bit, but, I mean, their tank comes in, I fire at it with my ZIS. The ZIS is going to be the sort of decisive factor. They're firing at, like, this IS-2. IS-2 is just sitting there being a tank, repairing it, but we do manage to take out that Panzer, which does sort of get blown to shit there. And this Pack 40 as well just gets destroyed by an artillery barrage from this ZIS, which is really good because that was a very veteran, very veteran pack. So we managed to survive with our tanks intact. We took out a couple of key targets from them. They're coming in with more armor though. They've got like this big freaking armor column, and it is going to be a problem. And it is going to be a pretty effective problem. Now, weird stuff is going to happen later on. Like, I'm not 100% sure what happens later on, but I'm pretty sure what happens later is my IS-2 gets hit by a plane. Which is kind of bullshit, but it does happen. So yeah, here you can see the enemy rolling out. Huge wave of armor. This guy's got his engine destroyed, so he can't engage in this particular fight. But yeah, we've got our IS-2, we've got our ZIS with 2 stars over here, and I've got a damaged T-34-76. So we've got actually pretty decent anti-tank capability over here. It's just that it's not as much as I would like, because this M4 Sherman could have gotten here a lot faster. So anyway, we've got tanks standing by here. I'm like, okay, well, what have we got over here? I'm like, oh shit, that is a lot of Panzer IVs. So my IS-2 moves up, gets a little bit owned. I have to back it way the hell up. And our opponents sort of lose a lot of tanks. So M4 manages to get in here. This guy manages to get completely blown up by the anti-tank that they have. My T-34 is going to get destroyed. So, yeah, like, I don't actually know what winds up destroying this thing. I'm pretty sure that the plane crashes on it, but, yeah, like, the plane crashes on it. That's bullshit. Anyway, we did manage to take out a lot of their armor, though. We took out 5 German tanks at the cost of 2 of ours, albeit one was a very expensive tank. But they've still got all their infantry here. We haven't really got a lot to push them back until I send in these 2 T-34-85s, which is a really nice doctrine ability. It's going to be able to push through here pretty easily. They've got this Pack 40 again here, which is, again, a really good tank. They're going to be able to take up this field point that I've built here, but that's fine. So yeah, we were like, oh shit, there's another pack there. I do actually decide that I'm just going to take it out. They do reinforce it with engineers after I take it out though, so I do have to start doing that thing where we circle around it. And as you can see, we're going to be able to do just fine taking it out, so... Yeah, so it can't get its gun level to my tanks because I was moving around like a bit of a dick, but... you know, we've got this point captured, we'll go back here. I don't actually have the ability to capture it with my tanks yet since they're both non-veteran, but what is a good thing is that we can start self-repairing our tanks over here. Again, the Americans lose this point because they can't see it. So, you know, they're firing indirect artillery at it every time they see it's being captured, but they aren't necessarily aiming it that well. So, they're forced to send in infantry yet again. And that'll capture the point quickly enough. Now, these 2 T-34-85s, a lot better than a standard T-34. Now, one of the things that's nice is that I've got this big ball of T-34 coming in, and it's going to be a better choice than an IS-2 against this Elephant Heavy Tank Destroyer. The nice thing about these guys is that they're maneuverable enough that they can get around behind the Elephant Tank Destroyer and really wreck it, which is important. At this point in time, I should be actually using infantry, but you're going to see a really nice little sort of armor blitz here. I've got these 3 T-34s over here. The elephant just sort of skirts around here, and it's just pure luck that this happens, but we take out his munitions truck. We take out a rank 3 mortar crew, a rank 2 mortar crew. The elephant comes around here to try and flank my T-34s. I'm like, oh, fucking elephant. So I just start, like, scooting around here, and I just run, basically. Like, you can just see, like, I'm just getting out of here. But I've destroyed, like, 3 of his units, and I just did a lot of damage to him. It was pretty hilarious. My tanks managed to all get out of there safely. We've got some basic damage to them, but they're going to be just fine. 1 second here. I think that's fixed. Anyway, we've got 2 T-34 76s and the 85. We've got like I've got this plane sort of strafing around here, sort of going for strafing runs, but it's not going to accomplish too much. It killed 1 unit, I think, but you know. In any event, yeah, I've got a lot of armor, and it's sort of sitting here. It's repairing itself, and it's going to basically we're going to basically try and take out this elephant heavy tank destroyer, because it is too much of a heavy armored fist that just destroys everything if we don't destroy it. So even if I lose like all of my tanks, it's kind of worth it. So it is definitely something that we're going to have to keep our eyes on. Sturmovik, I wish, flew in a slightly less random pattern, but it basically just flies around until it gets shot down. It's there for a long time. Anyway. Yeah, this elephant, I think we're going to start moving out and try and kill it. So we've got a pretty big wad of infantry coming in behind and with it, but not a really great one or anything. It's like engineers and some conscripts, no real veterancy or anything like that. But we are just, yeah, doing straight up charge. I'm trying to split up where my T-34s are all going. This one is going to get immediately wiped out by everything, but, you know, that's fine. I'm going to start microing my units to try and get them behind the elephant. Its front armor is more than I can penetrate. This tank is having trouble maneuvering for some reason, I don't know why, but I managed to eventually get sort of around behind the elephant and start hitting his rear armor, which is important because otherwise I do like no damage to it. My troops, I need to start moving them sort of differently because like I kind of need to get them on this Pack 40, but we're going to lose yet another tank here as I back over this but yeah, we did take out that elephant. We did take out a lot of their sort of infantry, a lot of their anti-tank stuff. This tank, this T-3485, is going to get it out of here safely. So we did actually get out with one of our tanks alive, so that was very good. These units over here, not the best at taking out infantry from this range. We're going to move around here, and we're actually going to send just one of our just basic engineer squads is going to wipe this guy out pretty easily. As they walk past up, it's going to be very just hilarious and casual. They're just like, oh yeah, hi, and just run past them. It's kind of hilarious. Anyway, yeah, you can see that our tank numbers have really declined, but they've lost their elephant. They've lost... We killed a ton of their guys already, so... Yeah, it's just like... Yeah, so long, sucker. Anyway, this guy's going to sit here, repair itself, barely survive. But, I mean, we've done a lot of really good stuff here. Captured a lot of points, really pushed them back yet again. And over on this flank over here, though, they haven't had those heavy tank battles. So they've got Stugs, they've got a Flak Panzer, and they've got the Panzer IV. So they've got all this armor concentrated here. And they've also got the Scout Car, but I don't really care about that. The thing is that they haven't got a lot of fuel income because we've really been sort of trying to nail them back as far as that goes. They've got another Panzer IV that's going to start hitting over here. And there's nothing I can do about it, and this M4A3 Sherman is A, facing the wrong direction, and B, is kind of shit, so... no offense, but like the Sherman is such a bad tank compared to what else, the other stuff that we've got here. This T-34 is going to be an awfully long time before I can bring it back into the fight, and I'm just waiting for another IS2. With that elephant off the field, I feel like he might not bother building another one, so it might be worth building another IS2, even though like I have been finding they're kind of crap actually. Now, I haven't actually researched anti-tank grenades because I had so much armor and so little infantry. Oh god damn it, really? Oh, I really do hate telephones. Anyway, yeah, the M4 Sherman just gets completely demolished by a Panzer IV. There's nothing you can do about that. So yeah, I have to retreat my troops back here since I don't have any anti-tank grenades. Not that would do much against a Panzer IV anyway. My T-3485 is just about back up, and my IS2 are up here and are going to be quite good. Honestly, it's going to be a fairly effective unit. I run back with these engineers, and somehow they don't get killed. He just decides not over the water. It might be bait. But anyway, I roll it with my T-3485, and a T-3485 can actually take out a Panzer IV. It should be more than a match. I don't know if they are in this game, but like a T-3485 should be able to, well, frankly, a T-3476 should be able to completely outclass a Panzer IV. But, you know, that's sort of not what happens in this game. Anyway, got this little scout utility car, gets completely blown up. Nothing it can do against this Panzer IV in a direct fight like that. It kind of has to be using its maneuverability a little bit more. But anyway, T-34 starts hitting this guy up, and this, like, the IS-2 is what's going to be sort of decisive here. Yeah, so we managed to get that abandoned, which is really nice. So it's stunned, its crew is gone, and we can actually capture it now. We managed to just completely wipe out another infantry squad, which is also great. He's going to try and, I think, repair his troops a little bit, or his tank a little bit, but I mean, like, we've taken out a lot of guys here with these tanks, and, like, these Panzer Grenadiers don't have their anti-tank yet, so, like, just wiped out another one. It's so good. Ah, lovely. Sturmovik comes back around, wipes out these, most of those, well, all of them, actually, but, yeah, that leaves this Panzer with us, which means that if we want, we can send some troops up and capture it, which is what's going to happen. Now, they've only got a Stug in this area and another Ostwind, so I could take out both the Ostwind and the Stug with my IS-2 if I had to, but at this point in time, like, I can't move my T-3485, so I don't really want to risk it. Because, like, T-3485s are pretty expensive because you have to buy them in groups of 2 for, like, a lot of cost. Individually, they're not that expensive because you do get 2, but, like, since you can't buy them 1 for 1, like, it'd be really nice if you just buy 1 T-34 at a time. Anyway, got our American buddy pushing forward over here. He's got his lieutenants. I don't know why he has 2, honestly, but he does. So, got, I knew there was a Stug on the water here somewhere, but I was sort of derping around trying to figure out where to go, because my plane had caught vision of it. And I'm like, oh, there it is. Okay, so I managed to get a rear shot on it, and then I managed to sink it, so that's going to be a good kill for my IS-2. Not that Stug really can fight an IS-2 anyway. It's not technically a great anti-tank weapon. But yeah, that was a good, easy kill for me, for a weapon that he probably really needed. At this point in time, though, like, again, just accumulating fuel. I really want to get enough fuel for another good tank. We've managed to repair this T-3485, get it back up to health, and I'm retreating back my engineers. The thing is, I just need to keep my eye on this tank over here because I want to take it. It's just that I don't have any infantry in the area to crew it. I could send up these guys, but the blizzard is sort of raging, which is making it a little bit harder for me to justify doing that sort of thing. I've set up a sort of repair station here with these engineers who are just going to sort of camp by this fire and just repair any tanks they send their way, because we're going to be using and reusing these tanks quite a lot. Yeah, so I've got another close air support attack, which is going to be nice. Actually, I think I build another IS-2 next. I don't think I get any more T-3485s. But, yeah, they've got another Panzer IV on the water. I don't manage to find it or intercept it in time, so that's going to be a shame. They've got their Jackson here, though, and the M1, so it's going to be okay once that storm lifts and they can get view of this tank that's coming up here. Unfortunately, I think that it gets around their anti-tank gun a little bit. It drives, I think, in front of it in a little bit, but like, the Jackson, unfortunately, like, doesn't take hits very well. Oh, what killed that? Shit. I thought that did a little bit better, but anyway. Yeah, so now that the weather's clear, I start moving up one of my conscript squads to go capture that tank. And I mean, we captured this area with the T-34, which is good, but at the same time, we also have some really bad stuff massing up on this side to deal with and worry about. The American players, I don't think were quite prepared enough for this, but I mean, it's not like they're unprepared. I'm just not sure where their presence is, because they don't have any vehicles really. So anyway, I managed to get a good strafing run in, kill some of their infantry around that area. So yeah, that was good. And this sniper group, I think, gets completely destroyed by these Americans, if I recall. Yeah. Okay. At this point in time, I think they've mostly given up on the sector that I've been fighting for. I've been pushing through here. So for the most part, they've been trying to retake the center, and they haven't been doing a great job of it. So we're just going to fast forward a little bit. As you can see, though, I've got another IS-2 heavy tank, and I've got that Panzer now. I've captured that Panzer now. I've just about got another IS-2, or maybe I don't build one. I don't know. But either way, this little Panzer IV is going to limp back to this repair station with these engineers. But I've decided to just blow up this guy's base a little bit. And if I can take that out, it's going to really sort of mess with him. The support armory company is one of their heavier buildings. It's like pretty important for them to have, so this is going to force them to either use expensive doctrine tanks, or it's going to force them to not use tanks. So my T-34 gets a little bit wasted, but it's going to be fine because the IS-2 is so good at killing infantry. Unfortunately, I'm like, oh shit, there's an anti-tank gun there, and there's a Panzer. I managed to get some good hits against it, and I managed to swoop in with my T-34, but it's going to actually live, and this is very frustrating, because I sort of sacrificed my veteran T-34 for it. But, yeah, no. I do run away with the IS-2 though, so that's fine. Come across this machine gun, and it gets just sort of wrecked. On the plus side though, another tank, Panzer IV. It's going to be a good replacement, so nice, fairly decent tank actually, the Panzer IVs, in pretty much every respect. I mean, the main gun is not that good against infantry, but since they're allowed to get the MG42, they actually perform really well against infantry, even though they're not supposed to really do all that well against infantry. So, like, for example here, like, it's not the main gun that's going to hurt these guys, it's their pointal-mounted gun. I've got a nice big wave of infantry, so I'm going to send them in here. They've got their two anti-tank guns, and, like, the thing is, like, the Panzer IV is so fast maneuverable in this game that I'm going to have no problem whatsoever sort of getting around behind, sort of zipping around, circle strafing them a little bit, and just annihilating them that way. So, yeah, we took out one of them pretty easily. This IS-2 is moving up to the front here. It is going to have no problem whatsoever just wiping out that anti-tank gun if it has to, but I mean, they've got these guys here, so. Tank is shot, IS-2 over here. Like I said, IS-2s all over the place since I feel like I can use them right now. And we're going to take out this anti-tank gun. You can see that Panzer Shrek pinging off my armor. And at this point in time, we're just sort of destroying some of his base fortifications. I really should have destroyed some of his other stuff, but like the elephant comes in and just destroys both my IS-2s. That thing is just so good against IS-2s. So at this point in time, I have to kind of build lighter vehicles now. I do build a couple more IS-2s, and I think I build, like, there's another IS-2 like right now, but what I should be building at this point in time is actually lighter tanks. Because, like, I do need something that can sort of flank around these elephant tanks. Now, they are running low on points very quickly, though, and, like, that's going to stop them from easily sort of doing anything here. Problem here is, like, I try to hold this point here with my tanks, and, like, it's not going to work. That elephant is just going to plow straight through both of them, and I'm not even going to know what's hitting them, so I don't react in time. I should really have just retreated back all the way down to here, but no. Oh well. Hindsight 2020. Yeah, elephant's just so good against tanks. We do actually kill a lot of infantry though before we go down, and I can afford to lose tanks pretty effectively actually. Like, I don't really care too much because I've got so much fuel income. Anyway, like this IS2, I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna try and retake this point or stop them from taking this point if I can. Don't see anything. Forced to sort of swoop back. I figure like I can't take the elephant with my IS2, so this just sort of spins around in circles. But at this point in time, like, there's not a whole lot that we're going to be doing. I mean, they're ticking down pretty quickly. They're running out of points, and there's not a whole lot left that they can do. So just switch over to faster thing here, and like, this area is just bristling with American guns. It's just like, I really wish he'd push them forward a little bit, or build a fire with these rear echelon troops, or something like that. So yeah, I started just training out T-34s at this point in time, because I kind of want something that can get around behind that elephant and attack it that way, because I don't think that my ally here is really going to be able to do that with the Sherman. He can actually do it with the Sherman, but he doesn't, I don't think. So, you know, whatever. Anyway, we get some good kills with our IS-2. The problem is that's like not going to be carried through with very effectively, and this elephant is going to come in and just wipe it out. It is like brutal. The thing that actually like kills it, I think, is the Pak-40, but like, that was a huge hit. Like, I don't think they should hit quite that freaking hard. Anyway, what I'm doing is I'm just taking the center point again, because I think that there's no real way that they can take this point even with their elephant. And you can see that at this point in time, the Americans have pushed back this Pak-40. I've decided to send in my T-34, which might sound strange, but like, in this position, with what they have, I can actually take out this elephant anti-tank destroyer with my T-34, or at least force it back. Now, it would have been nice if I got an engine hit or something, but like, or, you know, actually hit the damn thing, but my tank's just decided, like, it's gonna miss every shot, except for the ones where it's right in its ass. But, you know, we're getting these weird armor hits, and that's really sort of pushed it back effectively. So it's forced back for repairs, and they don't have time for that. They have less than 25 points. They need to get everything back into the game as soon as possible, because like, they're ticking down slowly, but they're still ticking down. They try a desperate charge with this Panzer Tiger Ace, but it's running straight through a lot of different anti-tank weaponry. Even though the American anti-tank weapons are very low-cal, it's still enough to destroy it. So that Tiger Ace goes down pretty quickly. And like, he kind of needed to coordinate that better. If he sent it in with the Flak Panzer, that might have helped a bit better. But I mean, they recaptured this point, but they're down to 6 points. And like, we have to just recapture that point, and then it'll be over. So that's really all they get. So at this point in time, nothing that we do really matters. I'm rolling out with more IS-2s. I've got my T-34 to try and take out that elephant, and I mean, that's pretty much the game. So anyway, I hope you found this enjoyable. It was nice to see all this heavy armor on the field for once. But yeah, I hope you found this enjoyable, and of course, as always, I hope to see you all next time.